Kia ora. A real change in the weather as we head through the rest of today. For Wednesday, we are going to find a dry looking afternoon, but things are changing as we head on in towards the weekend. Taking a look at the satellite picture for today, you can see there's plenty of clear sky across New Zealand, particularly up across the North Island, but waiting in the wings, this next system is set to push across the Tasman Sea. And as it does so, it will bring some much more unsettled weather. But for the rest of Wednesday afternoon, things generally are looking pretty decent, particularly across the North Island. Plenty of fine, dry weather through there. A touch more cloud down this eastern side, perhaps a little bit of drizzle around parts of the Otago-Canterbury coast. But all in all, most spots should be dry, and there's plenty of fine weather through Wednesday. But you can already see on these charts this next feature pushing towards us. As we go through in towards Thursday, high pressure shifts away. This next area of low pressure runs in, brings that wet weather on towards the western facing sides of the country, accompanied by a fair bit of cloud and also some strengthening winds as well. You can see by the time we head towards the end of the day on Thursday, that rainfall is pushed right against the coast of the South Island. Some heavy falls to watch out for, some thunderstorms as well, and accompanying it, those strong northeasterly winds. And we are going to find those winds spread across towards the eastern side as we go through the nighttime Thursday into Friday. So we have got some watches and warnings in place. Now, the heaviest rainfall will be on that western coast of the South Island. So we've got warnings that stretch right the way out from, say, George Sound and Fiordland, right the way out through Westland and up and towards those far western side of the Tasman district as well. And watches also for places like the headwaters of Otago and also in towards parts of Buller and the Richmond and Bryant ranges in towards that border of Marlborough. Some heavy rainfall to come through there. The heaviest up around about the higher ground of Westland, where we could find as much as 300 millimetres of rainfall. Some of that will spill across into towards the headwaters of Canterbury as well. Worth keeping an eye on that. The heaviest rainfall is likely to be later in the day on Thursday and through in towards Friday. While we've got the heaviest rainfall is on that western side, we have got some strong winds out towards the east. Again, it's later in the day and especially overnight through and towards the early hours of Friday for the likes of, say, Wellington and Wairarapa and Marlborough. But we are going to find those winds picking up as we head through the daytime as well. So keep an eye on those forecasts as we head through the rest of Thursday and through in towards Friday. However, let's start things off up in the north. Generally, things here are looking fairly settled to start the day. Some fine weather to kick things off on Thursday. However, as we go through towards the afternoon, we will start to find that cloud feeding across. High cloud at first, but just lowering and thickening as we head through in towards the afternoon, and some showers to end the day, and eventually this rainfall coming through as well. Keep an eye on those winds down towards places like New Plymouth and those southern parts of Taranaki. Could be some stronger winds to watch out for through there, and that rainfall spreading across us as we head through the evening and especially through in towards the night time as well. The eastern side, although I'd like to stay dry through the daytime, we will start to find that cloud even thicken up in places like Gisborne and Hawke's Bay as we head through the daytime. So down across those southern parts of the North Island, again, generally a fine looking start today. The cloud thickening up though as we head through the afternoon, especially across this western side. Those winds picking up as we go through in towards the afternoon as well. And that rainfall spreading in from the Tasman Sea as well. So we'll start to find that rain thickening up. Also those winds increasing for the likes of Wellington. Strongest winds likely to be as we head through towards Friday morning. That's when we've got our warning in place for Wellington and that watch for the likes of the Wairarapa as well. But those winds will pick up some strengthening northeast, perhaps even reaching gale force as we head towards the end of the day. But I think it is a case of a day that's going to go downhill as we head through Thursday. As we head across towards the South Island, that's we've got the bulk of our severe weather watches and warnings as we go through daytime on Thursday. You can see though for the morning time, a lot of the wet weather stays away. It's as we head through the afternoon that rain continues to push in from the Tasman Sea. It runs in towards particularly places like Fiordland and Westland at first, but you can see it spreads northwards up towards Buller and then does push across in towards parts of Canterbury and Marlborough as well towards the end of the day. But the heaviest rainfall will be on that western side. Like I say, we could find as much as 300 millimetres of rain about the ranges of Westland as we head through for that afternoon of Thursday through and towards Friday. Lesser amounts down towards the coast, but even here with some thunderstorms you could get some really intense bursts of rainfall, and rainfall totals could again be 60 to 100 millimetres. So do keep an eye on those watches and warnings, especially through Western, but even up towards Buller and the Nelson region could be some heavy falls for you guys as well. As we head across on towards that eastern side, generally things are looking drier. Not a bad start today down towards, say, Dunedin and Oamaru, a fine looking story there. And we are going to find temperatures still up into the 20s as we head through the daytime. Through the afternoon, though, that cloud thickens up and that rainfall spills across as well. So we have got some warnings in force for the headwaters of the Canterbury rivers. The headwaters of the Otago rivers are watched through there as well, but you can see that heavy rainfall Fiordland, Western, and some of it will make its way across into towards Southland as well. Rather a blustery end to the day as well around some of those coasts too. So do keep an eye on the forecast. There's plenty of wet weather pushing it back towards us as we head through Thursday. And the picture for Friday is a very different one to the one we've got for Wednesday. This active feature runs across the country, continues to move that rainfall across the north, and ahead of that, those stronger winds, especially for the likes of, say, Marlborough and Wellington first thing on Friday. Does start to put away some brighter weather back in towards it for a time, but you can see this next pulse of rainfall runs back on towards that western coast for Friday. So there's still more wet weather to come through there. So a real change in the weather setup as we head through the next few days. Enjoy the fine, dry weather we've got for the rest of Wednesday afternoon, because things are looking much wetter and windier for the end of the week. That's it from me. There's more at metservice.com.